I'm still waiting on this. What's going on here? There we go. All right. We are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by the Keeg, where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. For those of you who don't know, new DC comics, Marvel comics, indie comics like Image and Dynamite and Boom and whatnot, all your comics come out on Wednesdays at comic shops. And we are here on a Thursday, June 5th, 2025, to talk about all the comics that we were able to read from this week in 24 hours. I am hoping this is working. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. And if you were watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show or twitch.tv/The Keeg Show, or listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. But no matter where you're watching us, listening to us, digesting us, let us know you're out there. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, chat with us in the chat, write a review, whatnot. It's always nice to know who's watching. If you are watching us live, twitch.tv/The Keeg Show, youtube.com/The Keeg Show, you could see who our guests are. And if you can't see who our guests are, that's because you're listening to podcasts wherever you get your podcasts from. Let me introduce him. He's been on the show multiple times. To the max, dare I say. We got Drew Maxey, a.k.a. Drew Deficit, with a silent X in his username.
Hello, that's me. Even though on the display it says that I am Cozmik and he is me.
I just switched you around. We're doing like a Freaky Friday thing,
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll take it.
But it's okay. Drew, you doing good?
I am very great because it's summer break and I don't have to be at work. So I've been able to stay at home and write comics and also read them. So that's
it's always nice when you can have like free time to do the other stuff and not just your 9 to 5 or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm with you. Drew, thanks for coming back.
Hey, you can't get rid of me.
No, I've tried, and
I know.
Instead I'm leaning in the other way and I'm just getting you to do everything. So first time on the show, we got Cozmik, aka the Cosmic Collector. That's Cozmik with a Z and with a K, and no silent X. It's Cozmik.
That you know of.
Is there a silent X in the name?
No.
It's an invisible X.
It's all right.
There is now. I'm changing it after.
What's that?
I said there is now. I'm changing it after the episode.
That's good. I mean, that's what we do here. We just convince each other to change our usernames and whatnot. We got Aaron on a previous episode, and he used to be, he's King Krakoa on TikTok. And then I was like, you got to have the same username on TikTok and Instagram. So I got him to change his. He created a new Instagram. It's complicated, but glad to have you, Cos.
Happy to be on. Thank you.
You have a podcast of your own. What's your podcast called?
It's the Hall of Nerds podcast. We're on YouTube, TikTok. We're working on Spotify and the other places now, but that's where you can find us at the moment.
Okay. Did Spotify flag you? Is that what it is?
No, we just haven't tried to get it on there. I don't know. We've just kind of been putting it off. I think we're gonna wait until we're doing it in person and then start putting it on all the platforms and stuff.
You're really into comics, right?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, a lot, yes. Yeah.
Why do you read comics weekly? Because that's kind of what this show is, right? Like, we're talking about all the comics that we read, and there's a lot of really cool people who do that, but not everybody does it. What? Mm-hmm. Why do you read comics every week?
Well, I mean, I love comics, but also I'm a huge continuity buff. I like to keep up with everything that's coming out in DC so that I know what's going on with the characters in events and crossovers and stuff like that. So even series that I'm not necessarily loving, I'll still be reading them if it's an ongoing character, because I like to know what's happening all around in the universe. But it's rare that I dislike a comic, so that I usually just have to power through. But yeah, I just enjoy the stories, the writers, the artists. It's all just it's very interesting how it comes together to make such a cohesive thing. And I don't know. It's Wednesday's my favorite day of the week. I love it.
Why? Because I mean, it seems like I'm just ignoring Drew, but Drew and I, we've talked a lot. But why comics as a medium? Like, why not like the same time, but for like TV and movies and stuff?
I mean, I love TV and movies. I think it's harder for me, like TV and movies. I enjoy them, but it's a lot more like simple. Like when I watch TV and movies, it's very difficult for me to dislike a movie. Like I just turn my brain off and I just enjoy the movie. Um, I'm not as analytical. Like with comics, I feel like I'm looking at all the parts, like the writing, the art, there's the lettering's important, the coloring. And that doesn't mean I judge it more, but more it's more engaging to me, I guess. I was a big reader growing up of just like regular like novels and stuff like that. And then I found comic books, and instead of having to picture these things in my head, they were on the paper. And it was a lot more fascinating to me.
Yeah. I'm I'm pretty much the same way. Like, I used to read a lot of books, and then comic books was an easy transition because between comic books and TV, I get everything that I need. You guys there?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. um, there are people watching us live on YouTube, youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Or we also got Curly and Sane Guy on our Twitch chat, twitch.tv/The Keeg Show. What's up to Curly and Sane Guy saying an incorporeal X? An incorporeal X is
There we go. Yeah.
a reference to earlier.
I don't even know that word.
It
I'm not
means
even gonna lie.
if you used to date a ghost, that's your incorporeal X.
Okay.
It means without a body, I guess.
Oh,
Like without solid form is incorporeal. Right, Drew? Drew's the writer.
Okay, so corp is the Latin word for body. In means no, and the EAL, yeah, at the end,
Mm-hmm.
the stuff at the end is just turning it into an adjective form.
so it's no body.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes.
Dang.
Okay.
You're a teacher, right?
Yeah, I teach like kids how to find the like what a word means by like the Latin root and stuff like that. So,
Like etymology.
yeah.
That's cool.
Nice. See, you learn a lot by watching Comic Talk, brought to you by the Keeg. Um, let's get into the nitty gritty of what we read this week. So a lot of comics came out. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you. New comics come out on Wednesdays. We read as much as we could. Who wants to go first with their list? Drew? Drew, you want to go
I'll
first?
go first. Oh man. I I was telling you earlier, I got a lot. I read a lot between the last couple days.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so most of the time when I do this show, like I'm so far behind that I'm like, I wanted to read this, but I didn't get to. So I was just reading a ton since I got the time. So this is the list of the things that I read. I read it's kind of not really any order to this. It's just going to kind of be what I got. So, I read Birds of Prey 22.
Okay.
I read Secret Six number 4. I read Daredevil 22. I
Okay.
read Batgirl 8. I read Be Not Afraid number 1 from Boom Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I read The World to Come from the Marvel Knights line.
Oh, okay.
I read Absolute Superman number 8. I read the DC Pride 2025 special, and I read The Moon is Following Us number 10.
Okay, nice. I mean, that's a good spread.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good week.
That's such a good spread that I don't think it was on your list of books that you told me. So I didn't have any prep.
There was stuff that I didn't know that I was gonna like um the way that I usually when you ask like, "Hey, what are you picking up this week?"
Yeah.
I always just check the email that my comic shop sends out.
Mm.
And sometimes there's stuff that like isn't listed on that because it's like only I'm getting it. So they just pull it for me But it's not going to be listed on like their like what's coming in because they're just getting it for me. It's not going to be on the shelf.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things like that, and then like the Black Panther, the World to Come
Mm.
book. I didn't even know what that was until I got to the shop and saw it on the shelf and just said, "Yeah, this looked cool."
I didn't get to read that one. I mean, but I definitely want to hear what you think about it because I've been hearing some things.
Yeah, that was it. That was it for me. There were three others that I grabbed. X-Men 17, I picked up, but I have not read that X-Men book
Yeah.
since like issue 2. So that's on my list of things to get caught up on. Poison Ivy, I was going to read and then realized that I was about 3 or 4 issues behind and I had run out of time. So, and then my shop put in my poll the Godzilla versus Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong
Yeah.
uh, number like sequel. Um, I don't know why. I had no intention of reading that.
Yeah, you know. I didn't get to
I
read
didn't read
that
the
one
first
either,
one.
but I did read the first one. So, uh, okay, all right. Cosmic, you want to go or you want me to go through my list?
I can go.
Okay, let's hear it.
Uh, let's see. I got Absolute Superman number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute Green Lantern number 3. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 1. Ultimate Wolverine number 6. Poison Ivy 34. Secret 6 number 4. Batgirl number 8. Birds of Prey 22. JSA 8. Adam Project 6. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2 issue 1. And then the DC Pride 2025 special.
Nice, nice. It's such a mouthful. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2 number 1. It's just like
Yeah.
there's not even a subtitle in it. It's just
Yeah.
all right. It's numbers. Was there a book that you wanted to read that you didn't get to read in 24 hours?
No, I read all the books that I picked up, but I do regret not picking up Imperial because everyone is telling me how good it was. The
I
new
read it.
Jonathan Hickman. Was it good?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be my number 1 pick of the week, but it's not. But it's not bad. It's just, wasn't my absolute favorite. What did I read? I read a little bit less this week than normal. I was just way busier this week with life, and that's how it works. Absolute Superman 8, Birds of Prey 22, JSA 8, X-Men 17, and Imperial 1. Is that it? Wow. Yeah, that's it. There was a lot on my list that I wanted to get to. I've been digging All New Venom. So All New Venom 7 came out this week. Batgirl 8, I wish I read because I love it. Amazing Spider-Man 5. I didn't even get to Absolute Green Lantern 3, so there's a lot on my list I didn't get to this week, but we're all doing the best we can. DC Pride came out, and I wanted to read it because it's an anthology and like they always interest me, Who has a pick of the week they want to go over first?
New person first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I thought it was going to be Absolute Superman because
Okay.
I've been loving the Absolute stuff, but it ended up being the DC Pride 2025 because you said it's usually an anthology, which it usually is.
Yeah.
But this one was a full cohesive story from front to back.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really, really good. I genuinely, it was one of the most like heartfelt, like tear-jerking comics that I've ever read. Drew, by your reaction, I'm sure it was the same.
That was my pick. Yeah, that was gonna
It genuinely was that good because I mean, do we talk about like what happened in the comic? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also shout out to who is Sabal on YouTube saying glad I got to make it for the live show. What's up, Sabal? Anyway, sorry, continue. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, you're good. Well, essentially, there's this wall in the bottom of this bar in like the the speakeasy of this bar. And back in the 30s, Alan Scott and Johnny, which is like the Red Lantern, they had like carved half of a heart into the wall, like each one carved a half, and it like infused their energy into those halves, the red, the crimson flame and the emerald flame.
Yeah.
And so when the bar was shutting down in present day, I guess Alan Scott was so like overcome with this emotion, it like triggered this energy, and everyone who had carved something into the wall, which it was an LGBTQ plus like bar.
Yeah.
So like it was all these different characters. They were sucked into what they called like bubbles, which was their like desires at the time that they carved into the wall. So we got to see people like, Joe Mullen, Harley Quinn. My favorite was Bunkers. Bunker's story was probably my favorite of like the different shorts. So it was kind of an anthology, but it was all cohesive at the same time because you got these different writers writing their different like dream worlds.
Yeah, and like they weren't what I liked about it, other than just like I mean like the surprise of it, because you expect it to be an anthology, and it technically kind of is because every story is kind of like its own thing, but they, it's like everybody's just kind of tag teaming, but it's not like this creative team like does their little bit of the story and then the next creative team takes over and just like no, they're like switching it up throughout the course of the book so that like people are coming in and out and like like if it's like if it's Bunker's part of the story, then it's going to be written by those people. If it's like Harley Quinn's part of the story, like every single part that's focusing on her is going to be done by that creative team, no matter where it is in the book. It was great.
Yeah. And then when they pulled him out of the dream world, kind of back to like that, because every time they would escape, it would like they'd go back to this like speakeasy area and they'd be kind of stuck there waiting to kind of get out. That was all Tim Sheridan. So he did all like the overarching story with like Alan Scott and stuff like that. And it also followed it followed this guy named Ethan, like he was a retired military vet. And I guess spoiler warning.
No, I mean, talk spoilers all we want.
Oh, okay.
The only exception is something. It's like if one of us is like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I care more about us than I do our audience. I guess if you want to take that away. Well, we do spoilers. It's fine.
Okay. Well, Ethan's the one traveling through these different like dream worlds and helping the people escape from them.
Yeah.
Essentially, and he and the last one that they need to help, stop the Crimson Flames essentially consuming these different dream bubbles, I guess. And if it succeeds, it'll kill the people inside. So they need Alan to consume the green energy to like absorb it to stop the Crimson Flame.
Mm-hmm.
So they go into Alan's dream world where he's like happily with Johnny and they never like had any beef or anything and they were just like together and they had to convince Alan to give up like his dream and his happy life to come back and save everyone, which he eventually does. And Ethan, the character, he has to absorb the emerald or the Crimson Flame because it's two parts of the heart. Someone has to take the Emerald Flame as well, or the Crimson Flame as well. Yeah. So he became the new Red Lantern.
What happened to Red Lantern's daughter though? That's in the pages of JSA. Okay.
I mean, this is more. It's more like a continuation of Tim Sheridan's Alan Scott miniseries.
Yeah.
Which was great, and that's one of the things. Another thing that I just really loved about it. Tim Sheridan, man, he's got such a good voice for his characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I mean, it's not like that stuff didn't happen. It's just more so kind of like it's just a branch off of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she got the Emerald Flame from her dad, whereas I think Ethan got the Emerald Flame from this. Like the actual essence of the Emerald Flame went into him, whereas she inherited it in a way, like a genetic kind of connection to it, kind of like Jade with the Emerald Flame.
She is kind of like Jade. I forget her name.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Sheridan's cool. I mean, there's a lot of really good writers. I'm looking at the list of all of them. Tim Sheridan's cool though. I met him at Anaheim WonderCon.
Yeah.
And like, cool guy. Yeah, and good series also, the Alan Scott one. Um, Drew, now that DC Pride's got taken away from you, what's your pick of the week?
I think that my pick, um, there was a lot of good stuff this week. I really enjoyed this week. Uh, I think I'm gonna pick The Moon is Following Us.
Okay.
Issue 10, it was this is from Image Comics. It's a hell of a creative team. It's have either of you read this?
I
No,
haven't.
no.
What's the
Everyone's
basic
been telling me to
premise?
read it.
So the basic premise, it is about a husband and wife whose daughter fell asleep and she never woke up. And she's um like constantly living in her dreams. Like that's her reality now. And they are approached by someone who has given them the ability to like enter their daughter's dreams and fight this war that's happening inside of her mind in order to wake her up.
Okay.
Uh, and it's written by Daniel Warren Johnson, and the parts of the book that take place like in the real world are drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, but then the parts that take place in the dream world are drawn by Riley Rossmo. Um, it's really cool. I mean, it has this very like it's a lot of different influences kind of like being tossed together. Um, it has a very like anime feel to it, but different kinds of anime
Hmm.
also like being put together. It's kind of like it almost feels like mechy sometimes, but it also feels very like Studio Ghibli at times. And then it's this really, it almost has like an 80s Vertigo feel to it as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Um, it's there's a lot of stuff happening in it, but it's really cool.
All right.
I really want to pick
Um,
up the trade because everyone's been telling me how good it is. And I mean,
Yeah,
I've just started diving into all of Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff. So
yeah, it's I mean like those two creators, I really like their work a lot. So them working together on like such a like a pretty out there premise that really doesn't ease you into the like it doesn't like hold your hand into it. It just jumps into the story and it just moves very quickly. Um, Yeah, I really liked it. And it's got, it has like a lot of very heartfelt moments because, the parents are like, trying to overcome the grief of their daughter being stuck essentially comatose.
yeah.
And their different approaches to it helps them like work out things in their marriage and yeah, it's cool.
All right.
It's a good book.
All right. Um, my pick uh is Absolute Superman 8. It was either going to be that or it was going to be X-Men. Um, but I'm just digging the Absolute DC universe in general. And Absolute Superman has been a pretty solid series. I personally think like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman for this line of Absolute DC has been like the most solid. Um, Martian Manhunter is great too, but yeah, I just like this one. It's the start of a new arc. We're introduced a little bit more into like Jimmy Olsen of this universe, but really it starts off with the introduction, a little bit more of an introduction to this Ra's al Ghul in this universe, and there was just a really twisted fight scene. Um,
yeah,
did we all read this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I know exactly where you're leading to.
I was like, it was
I think it was the
more.
best issue of Absolute Superman so far,
Oh,
though.
do you? Have
Oh,
you not been
man.
digging it?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
I think it's been great. I just think it's been the best issue so far.
I I've really been liking the series. This was one I also had to get caught up on. So like I woke up early this morning and I read every issue of this, like back to back to back.
Mhm.
That Brainiac issue
Oh yeah,
awesome.
it was amazing.
Was
Yeah,
that last issue or the issue before that?
I think it was the
Last,
last one, yeah.
last issue. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's not a really good 3-issue run because the Smallville issue before that was also really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I
Oh,
liked
yeah.
that.
I want.
I really like this series. I have seen people say that like of the initial three, this was by far the weakest of the absolute.
Mm.
And I don't know if people still think that, but I've seen that a lot and I've heard that from people a lot. And I just don't get it because
I think it had the slowest start of the three, but it's at that point where it's right there with Batman and Wonder Woman, like where
it's
it's at now.
it's got to be just like hitting just like the right stuff for me, and that's why it was working for me from the beginning. Like I said, I was getting caught up on it, and I don't want to go too far back and talk about different issues, but like I think the third or fourth issue starts with Lois Lane like interviewing all of the people from all these different
Oh
countries,
yeah,
and it's just like such an effective and easy way to say Superman is a hero for the world, by talking to these people all spread out over uh, over different countries from across the globe, all talking about him in the same, like respect and uh, reverence, I should say.
I don't know
Um,
about you, but I'm also like a sucker for like 16 panel layouts. Like when it has like the 16 panels. I don't know. Tom King does it a lot too.
Yeah.
yeah, like I love the 9 panel grid just because like I love I love Watchmen so much that like anytime somebody uses, I was just like, that's they did that in Watchmen. And I know that it's a Steve Ditko thing, but since Watchmen, it pretty much has taken on like a new meaning every time somebody uses it.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's really simple, and then I think like the 9 panel grid or some other sort of like basic grid. It's to show like how stringent you could be with the grid and still work outside of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It works really well when it's done well.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think is the most solid, consistently solid, absolute DC book?
I'm so biased, Batman. I'm not.
That's fair.
I'm behind on
Yeah.
Batman. So I that's the next one that I want to get caught up on. I would probably say this one is definitely up there. Wonder Woman has just been like Wonder Woman has been so good.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite. It's
But
phenomenal.
but I even then only 3 issues out. Martian Manhunter is wild with like what they're doing with it.
For
It's
me,
probably one of the most creative things that DC's like ever done.
yeah.
The
It's too
most
bonkers for me. I'm gonna say like it's bonkers enough that I like it, but it's on the other side of the bonkers, not bonkers wall for me.
The third issue of that reminded me of like tonally very similar to like when I read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing the first time. And it was just like, oh, like you're seeing somebody be incredibly creative and really good at their job, and that's just so satisfying, like as a comics fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Dennis Camp is genuinely one of the best writers doing it right now, and he like
Yeah.
just started. Like I talked to him at MegaCon, and he said he was in nursing school. Like he was
Yeah.
going to be a doctor, and like he wanted to be a comic book writer. And I don't remember. I think he said his wife convinced him to like drop out of school and pursue his writing. And then now he's writing one of the best Ultimate titles, one of the best Absolute titles, and he has Assorted Crisis Events out right now, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. He's 3 for 3. I mean, I know he had an indie comic before that as well that everyone's saying was pretty good.
Which one was it? I don't know.
20th century something, 20 something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I heard it was good, but I haven't read it yet. I think it was Image.
I gotta figure out what his sauce is so that I can start getting more work.
I gotta figure out what Javier Rodriguez's sauce is because I don't know how he comes up with that stuff.
Who's Javier
Yeah.
Rodriguez?
He's the art on Martian Manhunter.
Oh, yeah.
And the colorist. He does the coloring too, which is what makes it so good.
The layout is crazy.
Mhm.
Again, I like Absolute Martian Manhunter, but it might be too esoteric. Is that the right word? Like
Yeah.
for me, like
I mean, I totally get that too.
you know?
So I actually wanted to ask you this question.
Are we gonna go down a rabbit hole? Because we still got all the other books that we read this week.
Well, this is about Superman,
Okay.
Oh,
about Absolute Superman.
Yeah.
Let's pretend that Absolute Superman is let's compare it to film. What director does it feel like to you?
I don't want to. I don't
I'm not
want.
a film guy. I don't know.
I don't want to anger a certain portion of the population.
Michael Bay.
I think that the style of Absolute Superman could work with a certain big time director if he made more quality movies and just like cared about the subject and like.
Oh, he's talking about Zack Snyder.
And
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah,
have all the.
Oh, okay.
Who's to say who I'm talking about? But basically, if all his strengths were just his strengths and he didn't have the flaws that he has, the amazing amount of flaws that he has, then I could see it.
Reading this book for me has been like it's striking such a great balance of like poignant subject matter.
Mhm.
It's not the most subtle. Hell, it's not really even subtle at all, but it isn't handling like it's often on the nose, but it's not like I don't know, like it's not bad. And
Yeah.
so I'm enjoying it.
I think it's also like it shows like how you can do edgy Superman right. Like
Yeah.
you can make him kind of edgy, but also keep all of his core values, his strengths, his weaknesses. You can make him like more human without taking away those values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's striking that cool balance between like that stuff and then also like it's a pretty intense like action story.
Yeah.
Dude, when he turned into the suit in the new issue, like
Mhm.
the destroyer looking suit,
Yeah, I don't know what
and
that's
then he
all
punched
about.
him like 1,000 times in 30 seconds. He was like, I just punched you 1,000 times in 30 seconds. Stay down. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, is it this issue or was it the previous issue? Kind of starts with it's like Ra's al Ghul turns a person into a baby
It's this
and
issue.
Yeah,
then,
this one.
and then throws the baby off a tower.
Well, but the setup is so funny because he's like, I've never had a son. And he like looks at the baby and he's like, he drops it and he says some line like,
But I
maybe
will.
one day or something.
Maybe, oh yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah. And it's like, I just think it's so funny that like whoever screams off panel in that panel that comes after would have seen essentially just a baby had fallen off a skyscraper.
Yeah, that's that's what that person on the street was just kind of like walking, getting a donut, having some absolute big belly burger, and then bam, baby.
Oof. If only Jonathan and Martha Kent were walking down the street and they caught the baby and raised it as their own. Poor Martha, by the way. She's in the
Yeah, with dementia and
everything's
Jonathan's
just
dead.
sad, you know?
Yeah, the whole Absolute universe is just sad.
I mean, it was made from dark side energy, so
Yeah, so it's all chaos.
Yeah. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole that is the Absolute DC universe and what I think. I mean, I love it, but you know, we'll do another podcast episode just on that. There are other books that came out this week, not just our picks of the week. I want to be able to hit everything that we can. Obviously, we can't talk about them so much, but like, let's keep it short and concise and like get through everything else that we read. Here's a question: Absolute Green Lantern #3. I didn't read it. I wanted to, but it's also my least favorite of the Absolute titles. How did it go for you guys who read it?
I didn't read it. That's the only one that I have not started.
Okay.
It's good. It's definitely taking like a lot of like creative liberties with the Green Lantern lore and stuff like that. But it's like doing its own unique thing with the characters and how the powers work and everything like that. Like it's all kind of a mystery still. Like they haven't really exactly every issue is kind of giving us a piece by piece of what's actually happening. So by the end of the 6 issue arc, I might be like, wow, this is insane. But currently, it is my least of the six. But again, it's just because it's taking a little bit to build up.
It is
It's
slow.
not bad at all. I would still give it like a 9 out of 10, just
Yeah.
like Absolute Flash. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with the absolute titles is they're like, as titles, they're all really good. But then you start comparing them because they're all absolute DC. And like,
yeah,
what else are you going to compare it to? And it's tough sometimes. We'll see. We'll see how it picks up. I want to love all of them, you know? Which is kind of the opposite of like what happened with. Did anyone read Ultimate Wolverine #6?
yeah. Ultimate Wolverine #6 was so good.
Was it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay,
I thought it
I
was
didn't
cool.
read it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to, but again,
We get a lot of like really cool like character references in the Ultimate Universe. I don't want, since you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really, really good. And the issue mostly takes place like, and this is from the first page, so I'm not spoiling. It's mostly inside of Logan's head, so it's very like, I don't know, like it's inside. It's like inside his psyche and him trying to like break free of that. So it's really, really cool.
My big problem with this series was like, it just started off kind of boring, like the first couple of issues, because it was just like Wolverine going to assassinate people, and like it's Winter Soldier Wolverine, but it was also like just classic Weapon X Wolverine that's like being released on someone. And then later when they introduced Kitty Pryde and Gambit and whatnot, I'm like, okay, now it's picking up. Now I'm interested, but I didn't get to read this one, so I'm glad.
I like Chris Condon a lot too. His Green Arrow run has been really, really good.
His Green Arrow run is one of my favorite things that DC is putting out right now, and it might be my favorite Green Arrow run that I've ever been there for, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've read the Mike Grell stuff, which I do really like, but I wasn't like reading it as that was coming out, what with being a baby and all.
Yeah.
So like now I've read almost all of the Green Arrow stuff that's like been out since I started reading comics. And this one is just like it's the one that works for me the best.
And it brings Green Arrow like back to those like social activist kind of roots. And the problem that he faces isn't like, oh, here's a bad guy with a bow and arrow. Like it's an actual like social issue that he has to work through. There's not just one bad guy for him to punch, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like doing that stuff where it's like challenging him as a person, and what he has done, and what he believes in now, and how current him maybe doesn't match up with past him. And on the subject of Ultimate Wolverine, I read the first issue. I haven't read any of them since then, so I can't really speak to it. But one of my good friends hung out with Chris Condon at after a convention one night, and he got a little tipsy and just told my friend the ending to the book. He's like, man, I want to read it, but I know what's going to happen, so I'm kind of bummed out about it.
Yeah.
It was this friend, was this comic book staff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him at Megaton. He was like, "Oh, the other night I was just hanging out with these writers at the bar," and I was like, "Dude, what?" He was like, "Yeah, I was just there."
Don't call people out. Blowing up his spot.
Oh crap, my bad. Sorry.
It is what it is.
I just didn't know I wasn't sure if I was correlating, because I remember him literally being like, because he saw me at the con, he was like, "Oh yeah, I was just hanging out with James Tynion at the bar last night," and I was like, "You were just hanging out with James Tynion? Like that's insane to me."
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
wasn't him though.
He and I have done stuff like that together.
Yeah. You should have DM'd me on TikTok and said, "Hey, every single one of your favorite writers is here. Come here."
With just quick on Green Arrow, even though it didn't come out, the Chris Condon stuff with Green Arrow has been like super good with the freshwater killers. Yeah, I can't wait to get it in a trade. Like, I need that storyline. It's a must.
It is legitimately like it's a generational superhero book, I think.
Yeah. What's also funny is, and I brought it up on previous episodes, is Batman Dark Patterns, the first 3 issues, that was one story arc with the Wounded Man, was a very similar story to the Freshwater Killers. Both of them did them really well. and a little bit different, but they were very similar.
I
think
just
it's
want to point
part of the
out,
time.
I want to point out, people who are watching can see that you just, Kaz, you just took off a Superman hoodie and you have a Superman shirt underneath it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
I didn't plan on taking off the hoodie, but it's really hot in here, and I was like, they're gonna see when I take off my hoodie that I'm also wearing a Superman shirt. But oh well.
And
And it's the classic one.
That would be like if I were wearing a 100 bullets hoodie right now, and I was like, you know what, it's hot in here, and then I had this 100 bullets shirt on underneath it.
Is that what you're wearing right now? Is a 100 bullets
Yeah.
shirt? You didn't get the memo. I'm also wearing Superman. So.
I don't own a Superman shirt.
Well, it's about time you start. So
at least before the movie.
Yeah. It reminds me of Back to the Future Part 2, where Doc Brown takes off his face and it's just his face.
Yeah.
You know? Shout out to Claude, a curly insane guy in the chat right now. Thanks for hopping off of Twitch and onto YouTube, because that's where we're drawing the chat from. Claude says it's definitely crushing the working class commentary, talking about Ultimate Superman, or Absolute Superman. Real hero of the people vibes without it feeling like he's just hardcore for the sake of it. Then again, that could also apply to Green Arrow too, so. Cool. All right. What else did you guys read that you really want to get off your chest? Because now we're starting to pick up the pace. I'm going to just talk real quick about Imperial #1. Cozmik Marvel, bunch of different like space factions, written by Jonathan Hickman. #1 was kind of slow. There were some cool things that happened, but in the middle, there's like a part of the story in the middle that kind of made me check out for a little bit, and then it got back to it. I think issue 2 will just be better. That's what I think.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I might pick it up. I'm not big into like ongoing Marvel, but everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good. It was the best of the week." I was like, I might go check it out.
I mean, it's a
Just
miniseries, so it's like
Yeah.
ongoing for a certain amount, you know?
I just don't know much about it. Like I know like the base characters, but like I don't really know a whole bunch about comic Marvel, you know? And
Are
like
you more of a DC guy?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm only really picking up the Ultimate Universe in Marvel because it was easy to hop onto.
Yeah. Is that the big problem? Is like Marvel is not as easy to hop onto, or just
sell you on X-Men. He's gonna be like, "Hey, you should read X-Men."
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sell you X-Men right now.
Well, the problem is like with DC, it's like you've had your reboots and your resets, and even when they do like make like things canon again, they'll tell you like, oh, hey, this is canon now, and here's what happened in it. Like Batman, they reference Nightfall in like every Batman series. You don't have to read Nightfall to know, oh, Bane broke Batman's back.
Yeah.
Azrael became Batman. Batman became Bane again. Whereas Marvel, there's no resets. It's just been Marvel since
sliding timeline.
Yeah. Since the 30s. So it's very hard to like sit down and be like, okay, where do I start? Especially with the X-Men. And like, you know, and people have been like, just start at the Krakoa era, but I told you I'm like a completionist.
Yeah.
So like I can't just start at the Krakoa era. I gotta go back.
X-Men is my #1, and Drew, you know, was on the show when Krakoan Age was coming out, and I was like talking like a lot of like talking it up a lot. That being said, right now X-Men's in a transitionary phase, so I can't necessarily recommend it. It is a good hopping on point, but like it's not as quality as what I think it should be. But that I'll send you a list if you want to jump into X-Men. I think because it's easy for comic book fans to be like, read everything, you idiot. Read everything. Like, you ask me where to start with X-Men, start with #1 and keep moving forward. It's like, no, we can't do that. We wouldn't do that with Superman. You know? It's hard.
It is very difficult.
I personally don't think that's how comics are meant to be read. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get on a whole thing, but like, I just don't think you're supposed to do that.
Comics are like TV shows in a sense that if a TV show has been going on for 20 years, you don't have to start it the first season. Like Grey's Anatomy, you don't have to unless you want to. You could hop in on.
But you should, because I'm sure there's stuff in season like who is Grey, whose anatomy is she looking at?
I think you probably get that from the first 5 seconds of any episode. Yeah,
I'm pretty fair enough. It's like It's like Law and Order SVU. I used to
Right.
watch that with like every episode's different and it spans 25 seasons, but like these casts of characters change so much and they reference so much stuff before. Like, yeah, every episode's its own story, but like if you don't watch like the first season, you don't even know who these characters are. You start at the fifth season, you're like, she's like, oh, I killed this guy last season. And it's like, what? When did you kill it? Because like at one point, one of the detectives like kills someone and then gets
Yeah.
fired, and they talk about it in the next season, and that's like 3 seasons later, and you don't know that it happened. So that's how I feel about
You
comics.
are a
I feel like
completionist.
they're gonna reference something in a comic book, and I'm gonna go, I don't know what they're talking about. Now I have to go read this.
So my whole thing is that like the creative teams in comics change so much, and with every creative team is going to be like a new interpretation of the character, and sometimes there's going to be consistencies and stuff like that. But like I just I don't know. I just don't think that there's any reason to there's no reason to expect them to really be the same character, even though they technically are. But they've just been like so many people have had their hands in it and shaped it and stuff like that. It can be cool to track that, but like instead you should just find the stuff that speaks to you. And like Batman is my favorite superhero, and I haven't read all the way back to 1939
Yeah.
because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And so like for
Yeah.
me, like my version of Batman is like comics are customizable in what can be continuity, which I know some people are really offended at the very notion of that.
I'm like half offended. Yeah. But okay, continue.
Like, but like my Batman begins with year one, and like the Man Who Laughs falls is next, and then Long Halloween, and then like it just because like those are and then those are the stories that like make the most sense to me. And then there's a bunch of stuff in the middle that I don't think necessarily has to be read in any specific order.
Yeah.
Like, um, uh, I don't know, like Nightfall you mentioned earlier. Nightfall's in there, and then I
Then
can
you go
also,
into No Man's Land after Nightfall. That's
yeah,
But not
and
right
and then you
after, but yeah.
and then you go into War Games, and then like the Murder Fugitive stuff,
See,
and then
I don't think War Games happens after Murder and Fugitive.
oh yeah, you're right. It's the other way around.
But
Yeah.
it's not necessary. Like it's not necessary.
yeah, like the Snyder and Capullo run or the Tom King run. Like to me, those are all just like it would be like somebody saying, ah, man, I can't read the Odyssey because I don't know how Greek mythology started.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, it all just happened.
The way
I
I
think you can break it down to just reading it by like ages, if that makes sense. Like you don't have to read the Golden Age to understand, the Silver Age. You don't have
Yeah.
to read the Silver Age to understand the Bronze Age. And then you don't have to read like the what is it, Modern Age, or you don't have to read the Bronze Age to understand the Modern Age.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like if like right now I'm working on like the Bronze Age Batman. It's like the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
So like I'm reading No Man's Land, but I haven't been able to get the omnibuses for Nightfall yet. Luckily, I know enough about the story where I'm not confused. But for someone like just picking up Batman, a lot of Azrael's story and his growth takes place in No Man's Land. So you don't really know who Azrael is unless you've read Nightfall, because that's where he's like introduced and his character really has the most like, oh, I don't like this guy. And then he has all that growth in No Man's Land and then going forward. So it's more just like you probably read it by ages is what I would say. Because I jumped on at New 52 in the modern age and I've been, picking up everything pretty
Yeah,
well.
and I think that makes sense. But like the the idea that like, oh, I gotta, because I've known people who have like, well, I don't want to start reading comics because I know that I'm gonna have to read it from the beginning, and it's just like that is going to harm your experience.
You know what the problem though is? The problem is that the people they know that do read comics are either dicks or assigning too much homework. The way I view it is, if someone has to take a class on Batman, you don't, as the professor, you don't assign them every Batman story ever like made, right? If you have
On the highlights.
five Batman books, that's what we should be focusing on. Batman year one, for sure, And then the other 4, it's up for grabs, right? Everybody has their favorite Superman origin book. It's not Superman #1. It's gonna be like Birthright or Superman for All Seasons, right?
Yeah. All-Star
like,
Superman.
American Alien, that sort of thing, right? Like everybody has their like Superman origin book and like whatever. So we do the best we can. I think we got to view it as like not everybody is into it like we are. So you got to like ease them into it,
I also think, it's like a gatekeeping is like a big part of it too. Like, oh, you got to read everything. Like,
Yeah.
I personally am like that for myself, but I'm not going to be like, you have to read everything to be a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Like, you just pick up wherever you want. If you can pick up a random comic and read it and enjoy it, that is awesome.
And then just look it up on Wikipedia.
I wish my brain worked like that because it would be so much easier for my mental state and my wallet.
Yeah.
If I could just pick up a random comic and read it.
That's why I have my like library of comics in my living room. Is like when people come over, like I had a friend being like, well, she really wanted to read like Dick Grayson stuff. Not just Nightwing, but like kind of his like history. So I'm like, okay, here's Robin Year One. Here's Nightwing stuff. Like, let's get you, integrated. Here's what? Which one?
You froze at Robin Year One.
Oh, so Robin Year One. What did I say? Robin Year One, Nightwing. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We're gonna literally rattle off thoughts about everything else that we read this week. Shout out to Claude saying in the chat that he's a fan of the sentiment that continuity is just the past 10 years. That's hyper time, baby. Isn't that? Like, that's.
I might go 20.
Okay.
Just for the sake of it.
I'm not a fan of the New 52, so I'm a big anti-fan. I'm a big hater on the New 52. So I wouldn't recommend the New 52 unless it's Batman, Green Lantern, maybe. But
yeah, I'm one of those people when people ask me about the New 52, I'm like, well, what about it? Because there's so many different stories and creative teams. I feel like people like to say New 52 is bad as a whole, but there's only like probably 5 books in the New 52 that just aren't good. The rest of them are actually pretty good. Like Blue Beetle is not good. What's it called? Teen Titans is not good. Superman is horrible. Action Comics those are both really bad.
That Grant Morrison at the beginning of Action was really good.
Okay, yeah, the Grant Morrison stuff was mind-bending. The mix of Pitalik stuff. But there's so many good things in New 52. Batman and Robin, Animal Man, Green Lantern, Swamp Thing. Like a majority of New 52 was really good. So stop being a hater.
We'll have to talk about it on another thing, on another episode, But like, I love what they've been doing. And DC All In, which is the current stuff right now, chef's kiss to me. But Claude is saying New 52 Aquaman was pretty
cool.
Awesome.
Yes, Jeff Johns Aquaman is really good.
All right, fair. Not everything. But when it's self-contained, I think it worked better when it was self-contained because there was no cohesion.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to rattle this off. We got like 5 minutes and we're going to hit everything. Quick thoughts if you read it, quick thoughts, and we're going to move on.
All right.
Batgirl #8. I didn't get to read it, but
phenomenal.
Really good.
Tate Brownball's killing it. It's like Lady Shiva's origin, and we get to see like Bronze Tiger, Richard Dragon, her sister. It's really, really good.
Nice. Yes. Birds of Prey 22. I liked it.
Really good.
Yeah.
I like Kelly Thompson a lot.
This run is good.
I love just like the running theme throughout the book is that it's been just kind of like a heist book.
Yeah.
I also think the colorist Jordi Belair is like the best colorist in comics right now. Yeah. That her and then Dan Mora's colorist, Tom Von Villain. Amazing. Yeah.
I need to pay more attention to colorists, but for Birds of Prey, I like the inclusion of ink. Like I was so caught aback. I didn't know what was going on. But that was cool. Did you guys read JSA 8?
Yep. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Flashback to World War II time. While still connecting to the present, right?
Yeah, Jeff Lemire's run's been okay so far. I really liked the issue where Wildcat died and then the follow-up issue with the funeral. I think those were like really good for me. Yeah. This issue was all right though. It's definitely setting up something crazy in the present day.
Yeah. I like it in the last issue that they included Tommy, Wildcat's son. because I thought they forgot about him. So good to know he's around. Did you guys read Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2?
I did. Yeah.
Quick thoughts? What's going on?
It's basically, you know how the Godzilla and Kong came to DC's world
Yeah.
last time? Basically, DC, they're going to their world now.
The legendary
Uh,
world.
And Amanda Waller is trying to make her own monsters to be able to fend off an attack if it ever comes again. So she turns King Shark into a kaiju to fight Godzilla. Godzilla packs him up really quick. And then I think Superman, Flash, Batman, and Supergirl are in their world now, trying to figure out what's going on, and they're being confronted by Kong. So it's kind of how it went down.
Justice League Atom Project #6. I fell off this series, but this is the final issue.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see like the absolute power and like the implications of what happened in it, and them trying to get the powers back. I like Mike Perkins' art. Overall, it was just kind of okay. It felt like not a whole lot happened.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. I do like the Atoms though, and I hope there are more stuff.
I just think it's like there are other Atoms out there. There's the World War II Atom. There's Atom Smasher, right? Like there's
Atom Smasher was in it too.
Oh, is he in it? Okay.
He was in the first issue, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys both reading Poison Ivy 34?
It's one of my favorite ongoings right now.
I am behind on it, so I did not read this issue. It is also one of my favorites, and I'm bummed out that I'm not caught up on it.
G. Willow Wilson's not talked about enough. Her Wonder Woman run was really good, and then Poison Ivy has been like consistently one of the best written comics coming out.
This is the first thing from her that I'm just like, oh, that is actually like I'm loving. Everything else I always kind of liked, but this is right up it's right in my Q zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how the art's been they haven't switched guest artists. It's been the same artist all the way through, which it's really nice.
I love a good, solid writer, artist, creative team that like is in it, you know?
Yeah. And they've went through multiple different initiatives like Dawn of DC, the All In, like all of this, and it's been the same team all the way through.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
I mean, 34 issues is almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to only have 6.
Yeah.
But it was that good. The Spore arc from the beginning was insanely good.
Yeah. I also love, and this is like fairly recent continuity in the past like 15 years, tying Poison Ivy's origin to Floronic Man. Like they've been really like leaning into it on every incarnation of Poison Ivy, like the Harley Quinn animated show. Technically, Batman and Robin from the 90s has Jason Woodrue as her origin story, played by John Glover from Smallville. But yeah, anyway, I fell off this run, but I loved it. I'm just like trying to claw my way back in.
Floronic Man's so cool, and it had probably one of the best moments in that comic was when she like ate a piece of Floronic Man, and then he just like burrowed his way like out of her stomach, and then she had to like heal and then like fight him, and it was like a whole showdown in the swamp, and it was kind of insane.
It's so good.
It is very good. Yeah.
Secret Six #4.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, I like the team a lot.
Is it getting better?
I think that it stayed consistently good.
Okay.
I agree.
I didn't dig issue 1, but I started liking it more and more as I read. I think I only read the first 2 issues. So
it's just it's such a book of like character moments. That's
what it is. Yeah. Like the overarching story itself is just like okay, but it's seeing these different characters interact, knowing that they're completely different people.
Yeah.
That make it so good. And Nicole Maines is great at writing like that dialogue, you know, that makes everyone connect at a certain level.
Shout out to Nicole Maines. Yeah. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #1. Is it a one-shot?
Mm-hmm.
Was it worth it?
No, it was good. I just don't think it's a one-shot. Is it 6 issues?
Is it 6 issues?
I'm not sure. I know there's a second and third one planned. I just don't know how many they have total.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, you get to see Miles go to the Ultimate Universe, interact with Spider-Man and his son, looking for his sister. You get to see him fight the Spot, which is pretty cool.
Which Spot?
The one from main continuity.
Okay.
I guess from 616. That's what they made it seem like.
Yeah.
But he packs up the Spot pretty quick. He gave Richard his name his son, Venom. So he's
Oh,
gone
did
by
he?
Venom now. Yeah, he was like, "You're Spider-Man, and you must be Venom." And he's like, "No, but I like that name." And Miles Morales is basically like, "What have I done?"
Oh, nice.
Um,
I
so
mean,
yeah,
it's
it's pretty
better than
good.
Kid Arachnid. I don't know if you remember. Like, Marvel was trying to
So,
pitch Miles Morales as Kid Arachnid for a little bit in the animated series. There was like, when Peter and Miles were teaming up, like, they need to sell toys. They can't sell two Spider-Men. So they're like, there's Spider-Man and there's Kid Arachnid.
hmm.
Or in the Spidey and His Amazing Friends, the little kid cartoon, he goes by Spin.
Oh yeah, my little brother watched that. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, okay. Or you just call him Spider-Man, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Drew, tell me about Be Not Afraid #1.
Horror story. Interesting premise. It's kind of a religious horror book. It's about a this kind of like, I don't know, almost like Stephen King-ish kind of villain, who is terrorizing this small town, including like his mom. He's like a dude who like grew up in this small town, and everybody was kind of afraid of him as a kid. And not to spoil too much, but you find out that he was born of, um, his father was an angel and his mother is a human, and she believes that this is like God's punishment to her for like reproducing with an angel from heaven.
Yeah,
Um,
I have.
it
Yeah, I have that problem all the time.
is a human, like human. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, it's not like it's a first, but it's pretty okay.
You froze on my end for everything as you started, and then you ended it with, but it was okay.
Oh
All right,
shoot.
cool. It's
Yeah,
my.
I heard him. I heard him the whole time, and you were frozen
It
for
was
me.
me. Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
internet connection. All right. Since we're running out of time, real quick, Daredevil 22.
It's pretty good. Yeah, hasn't been my favorite of the series so far.
Okay. And then X-Men 17, I thought was a solid issue. I think it's picking up pace. It's, the powerhouse X-Men team. There's some interesting things with Cassandra Nova going on, and like some like new mutant characters that want the title of X-Men. And then there's a lot of fighting. So it is what it is. I think that's it. I think that's everything we read this week, right?
There's one thing, the oh, you can't see because of the light.
Okay,
The
now I
world,
got it. Yeah. Oh yeah,
um
the world to come. That's right.
yeah, it's there is something that happens in this book that people are really upset about.
Yeah, I've heard.
Um I
Yeah, I'm
thought
not gonna read it. What is it?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great.
Is it
Um
T'Challa has a white son?
yes.
That's
And
what?
Like,
and
why does he have a white son?
we don't know yet. Um but
Oh,
like he challenges, he does like the challenge for the throne. And then like at the end it's revealed like he takes his mask off, and he was white the whole time. And I've seen a lot of people who are like, I can't say I've seen a lot. I've seen a few people who are upset by this because they think that it's like disrespectful, and it very much plays into the themes of what the book is setting up,
Okay.
because it's even in this first issue, it's so much about the idea of like colonization. Um,
If it has a
it's
grander point, sure. Are we just
yeah,
supposed to
wait
trust
a minute,
that
wait
it
a minute.
is?
So his son's not white. Like Black Panther is white. Is that what
No,
you're saying?
Black Panther is not white, but his son is white, right?
And then he challenges him for the
No,
throne
I
of
think
like
T'Challa's dead, right? Is T'Challa dead?
So it's it's playing with time because it's,
Oh,
Priest doing his told out of order sort of thing.
yeah.
Um,
oh, it's okay, it's Priest. Gotcha.
it
Yeah, I've read his Deathstroke, so I get what you're saying. Where it just jumps back and forth.
it's not quite like that, but it
Okay.
is. Yeah, and like it's a Marvel Knights book, so it's separate continuity. They at the in the back they say like, hey, if you've read the Black Panther Marvel Knights stuff from way back when, this will help, but you don't have to have read that stuff.
Okay.
Um, but uh, I thought I thought it was really cool. Not because of him having a white son, just the issue itself I thought was really cool.
Okay.
Um, I don't I, I don't read a ton of
So
Black Panther because of I just there's so much out there,
Yeah.
and it's been kind of meandering since the Ta-Nehisi Coates run ended. But I think this is a very exciting issue.
Yeah. Um, I just have the image in my head of like Drew flipping the page, seeing the white sun, and Drew going, "Score!" It's like, yeah.
for some reason when you said that, I had my like thought. I just pictured the meme that went around of just like Ryan Gosling's face on like in the Black Panther
People
suit.
are
Right,
already
yeah.
doing those memes.
Yeah, I was like when you said like his son was white, I was like, oh God, not the Ryan Gosling meme made it to comics.
I'm thinking about the Cat Williams scene where he's like, "Whose white baby is that?" Uh,
From
so
was that School Dance?
what's up?
Nothing.
Okay. So that's pretty much everything that we read this week. For the sake of time and everything, we're just gonna wrap things up. But I want to thank you guys so much, Cozmik, Drew, for coming on the show. Shout out to Claude, aka Curly Insane Guy. Shout out to DMV Comic Book Nerd. Shout out to who was up there. Who is Sabal in our chat earlier. Before we get going, Cozmik, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Uh, Cosmic Collector on YouTube and TikTok, but mostly on TikTok because I suck at editing, so YouTube's on hold. Uh, Coming up, I'm moving to Colorado and I'm pursuing doing the podcast in person as well as doing content full time, hopefully. So more content, more stuff. Stay tuned.
Nice. Awesome. Are
Yeah.
you going to any cons coming up?
I'm hoping to go to MegaCon next year. So
Is that
in
Orlando?
February. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
hoping to, yeah, because I'm going to be dealing with all the move and stuff like that. So the next one I'll probably be able to go to is going to be MegaCon.
Cool, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Drew, same thing.
I I've got nothing really imminent that needs to be plugged at all. My band just put out a record.
Nice.
Uh, the band is called Like Heaven. The album is called Hope in Hell. Came out via War Records in April. And so yeah,
Is it
just
on Spotify?
it is on it's on Spotify, it's on Tidal, it's on
Apple Music,
Apple, it's everywhere
LimeWire?
it's on Deezer, but
Fiverr.
Napster?
it
Is
is
that what it's called? Napster.
it is on Napster.
What is Fiverr? I thought that's what that was.
What?
Fiverr?
Fiverr?
Yeah,
Where you pay
That's
someone $5 and they make you something?
that's what it is. Okay.
uh
Because I had saw a YouTube video where someone paid someone $5 to make a beat for something, and that for some reason that reference to Napster. I don't know why my brain did
Napster
that.
was the old illegal download
Yeah,
site.
that's what I was thinking of
Yeah.
trying. Yeah,
Um,
I'm old. Sorry, y'all are a little bit old.
but no, I just read it in the history books. That's I don't know
what
you're
else?
talking about.
What else do I have? I'm gonna be at a couple conventions.
Mhm.
I'll be at Heroes Con um, uh, in a couple weeks in Charlotte. Um, I'll be there trying to get more comic work, but I'll also just be there as a fan,
Yeah.
and then
We
I'll
Yeah, we can't talk specifics, but Drew will be at San Diego Comic Con I will be at San Diego Comic-Con. When we get specifics, we'll shout it out. But there's big things in the works, so that's cool. Um, um, if you want to follow me, if anyone out there, wants to follow me, follow me at This Is Dimithri on Instagram. But as far as the Keeg is concerned, all the developments we got, the podcasts, the cons, who knows what's coming up. You can find us online at The Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest social media platforms. But we're also on like Blue Sky and Threads and all that stuff. At The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show. Wherever you can find The Keeg, we are there. If you are looking for comic books and you don't know where to go to comicshoplocator.com. Find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, and then as you read them, come on and watch this show, and stay informed that way. This is Comic Talk. It's a show that we do every week, every Thursday, where we talk about comics, but we got other podcasts that we do. But for all our live streams, you can find them on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, which I definitely recommend following there. Follow, comment, subscribe, review, chat, whatever. Twitch.tv/The Keeg Show as well. So, we're not so much on Twitch as much as we're trying to push YouTube right now. And then the podcast is wherever you get your podcasts from. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. Those are like the big ones that we are, utilizing. So at The Keeg Show, every single place. And if you're not already following the Cozmik Collector and Drew X Deficit, and I'm just saying that out loud, you should be following them. So, there's that. That is pretty much it. Yeah, support your local comic shops, support your local public libraries. That's also a big one. Stay tuned for more comic talk week after week after week after week. And then we also have the Keeg Talks is another podcast we do. We're going to do one this Saturday gearing up for the Superman movie. So it's going to be a very intro level Superman episode meant to you don't know much about Superman, listen to the episode. We'll get you caught up on some basic stuff so you can watch the movie in peace. That's pretty much it. Thank you, Cozmik. Thank you, Drew, so much for coming on. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching us. Like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of Comic Talk for the week of June 5th, 2025. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.